Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Interesting, we got a swarm of more than 40 earthquakes. Actually, it's over 50. When I was just looking, it's like 56 quakes in 24 hours, causing a buzz in the northwest U.S. And what do we see? We see Adam and Eve, and a snake, and a banana.
Yeah, of course it's a banana. What else could it possibly be?
I thought the story was about an apple.
No, it was actually about a strawberry, but they choose to use a banana.
Okay. Well, anyway, let us take a peek over here. And you can see when we're looking at the USGS, 56 quakes. Of 255 quakes around the globe that they are reporting, because again, they don't really report every quake, we see right here a massive swarm. And this is a large swarm. It is an area that does get swarms. We've seen swarms here before, albeit though, to me, it looks a little bit higher than typical when we're looking at 5.3, 5.1, 4.6, 4.7. The magnitude's pretty up there. 5.2, 5.1, 5.5, 5.1, 5.5, 5.5, 5.3, 5.5. Quite a bit in that mid-5 area. So, and you see a 5.8 down there, another 5.8, 5.5, 5.5. A lot of activity, a lot of energy. So jumping back to the article, and hopefully they won't put that on for us and blast us as usual. One of North America's most active fault lines sprung to life on Tuesday after a swarm of more than 40 quakes. And again, this has been ongoing now for a little over 24 hours, about 200 to 250 miles west of the coastal town of Newport, Oregon. Far enough to be mostly undetected on land. But, this is an area that most definitely concerns us. And, one thing that hits me is that I've always felt that, and this was just kind of like an intuitive thing, I always felt there would be some sort of major, quote-unquote, natural type disaster that was happening when we'd have chaos of actual WAR starting out there in a bigger sense. We'd have some sort of natural disaster going on in our country here in the U.S. When that happened. Now, this fault line is the Blanco fracture zone. So this is a little bit off the shore from the Cascadia, which Cascadia, of course, is one of those that we always keep our eyes on. And we'll jump over to the watchers and bring it up. And it gives you all the probabilities, because basically scientists say there's about a 37% chance that a mega thrust earthquake of 7.1 or better will happen at the boundary between the Juan de Fuca and the North American plates. This is the Cascadian subduction zone. Subduction as in one plate going under the other. Within the next 50 years, there's a 37% chance, the scientists say. And this will be felt all throughout the Pacific Northwest. This is a 600-mile-long fault that runs from California up to British Columbia. And it's about 70 to 100 miles off the Pacific coast. And there have been 41 quakes in the last 10,000 years within this fault that have occurred as few as 190 years or as much as 1,200 years apart. Now, the big one that we know about historically was estimated to be about a 9.0, so that's huge. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a big one. A 9.0 is, again, something that it comes rarely, although, we have seen them. And the last time over here was in January 26, 1700, with again, that 9.0 magnitude. This actually caused the coastline to drop several feet. That's huge. and a tsunami to form and crash into the land. What is most surprising is that the evidence for this great earthquake also came from Japan on the other side of the Pacific. Japanese historic records indicate destructive, distantly produced tsunami struck their coast on January 26, 1700. The same day. By studying the geological records and the flow of the Pacific Ocean, scientists have been able to link the tsunami in Japan with the Great Quake from the Pacific Northwest. And Native American legends also support the timing of this event. And they actually do talk about like whole villages being swept away, from the tsunami that did occur. So this is obviously something that we always want to keep an eye on. As you can see, this nice little representation of what we have going on here. As you see, the Pacific Plate, the Juan de Fuca Plate, and the subduction area as well. Some have wondered, when are we going to see, because there is evidence of volcanic activity underneath the ocean. When will we see perhaps the bigger ones like Mount Rainier or Mount St. Helens going and getting active again? When will we see the Pacific Northwest volcanoes wake up, as so many volcanoes across the globe have been waking up?
Absolutely. A lot of stuff going on right now.
Now, we asked the guides and said, what's going on here? Because at the same time, we still got La Palma over on the other side, still active, still ongoing, and we're past 11 weeks of activity. This is turning into one of the longer eruptive events that we have in our recent history. And that we have gotten has definite artificial flavoring going on, definite technology being used on that. And again, this is from the guides. And the other thing I wanted to bring up over here is that we also have earthquake swarms going on over on the other side in Japan. So is this the prelude to something larger? As we see this headline from Strange Sounds, something is going on along the Nankai Trail in Japan. Earthquake swarms are moving along the subduction zone over there, from Mount Fuji to the Kii Channel to Tokara Island. Every time I see Mount Fuji, I think, uh-oh. And you see rumbling, I think, uh-oh, Godzilla!
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Right. Of course, Godzilla over there is Gojira.
Yeah, I like that. I like them both ways. I like both Godzillas.
Now, what we got was there's technology going on, and what you got is that it's coming through the airwaves.
Yeah, it's coming through the air. So, there's a difference between La Palma and this one, whereas La Palma, they show me information that there's things going on underground, and this one that we got going on here is there's information being sent through the air somehow. So they're just utilizing whatever means they can, it seems.
So we have swarms going on at both ends of the Pacific in areas, that were obviously very close to that was affected by that great 1700 quake. Doesn't mean that it's impending, as we've seen swarms in this area before. But just in these times, everything is curious. And then with weather, WAR, fair going on, and we know of, say, the famous New York Tesla quake that was produced. And, every now and then you'll still get somebody that says, oh, that was just a hoax. Yeah. Well, just take a look at the technologies that are being developed over at DARPA. And then I wonder, too, when sometimes when people will put comments like that are trying to dissuade any thought of any sort of technology being used, if they're not just simply working for those that are manufacturing the technology in the first place.
Exactly.
In one way, shape, or form. So yeah, you have a cluster of tremblers over on the other side. And the largest to date over there was a 4.8 over 200 quakes. So interesting. And in all the meanwhile, we have more and more satellites Now, is it all just for internet service going up?
Yeah, of course. It's just for simple, innocent internet, you guys. That's really all it's for, and it's for our benefit. Because they love us so much.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Well, they've shot up 1,750 so far, Starlink or thereabouts satellites. But, again, when you look to what has been developed and you look to the fact that, Elon Musk is going to be the world's first trillionaire, it seems, and it's about this space race and it's about all the stuff they're putting out there into space. Who knows what technology is on those, really? And who knows what technology's been out in space for a long time? I mean, how many of you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of I know some of you have, the Black Knight satellite, right? And there's also a White Knight satellite, too. And of course, the Wikipedia is just saying this is just, one of those crazy theories.
Yeah, one of those crazy conspiracy theories. I hope I broke that up enough for the AI.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Just like the thought that your cell phone could actually cause damage to your head, or just like the thought that certain types of nonstick cookware, could cause the big C word, or maybe microwaves are not the healthiest thing for you to
those
be
are crazy
using.
ideas. Also, that white stuff in the sky, that might be something other than
Regular old CON trails.
Right.
Yeah, like they're, that CHEM trail thing. It was just another one of these things, but again, later on declassified. Oops, there's another check mark for the crazy theorists out there. But this thing was cited and has been cited for a very, very long time. And there's also one called the White Knight as well. Very, very similar structure. And how much technology is up there that was up there from the EGG, the Anunnaki, and others, and is still up there. That's very, very. That's just an interesting thing to think about. But we want to just get you guys this quick update. We want to thank all our Patreons as well. We couldn't do it without your support over at Patreon, also at Medicinal Foods, and on Ko-Fi as well. There is a link to get a discount at Medicinal Foods on every video. And as always, guys, stay prepared. Be prepared. Have your earthquake plan. Have your EMP CME plan. Have your everything plan.
Yes, and update it.
And updated, yes. Mm-hmm. As always, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.